Thank you so much for watching this video and welcome to this channel. And this channel designed for people who are new and would like to start their career as a software tester, and also for those who already working as a software tester but would like to learn something new or improve their knowledge. Today we're gonna talk about most popular interview question for automation tester. What locators do you know in Selenium? Selenium support 8 different locators such as ID, ClassName, Name, TagName, LinkText, PartialLinkText, CSS selector, and Xpath. Let's move to the practical part. Let me show you how you can inspect a web application and find each of the 8 locators I mentioned. I'm gonna use automationpractice.com website, which you can use for practice finding locators or for any automation practice. This is a good resource. One of the options is press F12 button on your keyboard. Another option will be right click and select inspect from the options. This will open for you Developer Tools console, and it has multiple tabs. It's automatically open on the Elements tab, and this is the tab we want to use. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. And here, as you can see, it's our HTML DOM and contains all the web element we can search for and the web elements which are presented on our user interface or on UI. In order for us to find locator, we can use 2 options. Let's say we want to inspect the search bar. You can navigate your mouse here, do right click and select inspect, and will highlight information about this web element in this HTML DOM. Another way, you can use this arrow. You can click on it, and after you can navigate to this search bar, or maybe you want to inspect these t-shirts, and you will see it's gonna highlight for us where this web element located in the DOM. Let's go back to the search, and as we can see here, it has an input tag, it has a class attribute, it has a ID attribute or name. As we know, we can search by tag name, by class name, by name, or by ID. In order for us to write down the locator, we're gonna press Ctrl F or Command F if you use Mac, and then let's start with ID. Search query top. Let's check if it's unique ID, and I will show you how you can check it out. I'm gonna double click on the text, and I'm gonna use Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and it's gonna locate for me. It's gonna highlight in yellow that attribute and value you're using, and it's also gonna highlight in blue, as you can see, the search box. How do I know if it's unique locator? I should look on these numbers. Right now it's 1 out of 1. That means this is unique locator. If you see 1 out of 2 or any other number but not 1, that means this type of locator pointing to the multiple web elements. Selenium gonna always select the first one, the first locator, interact with that, but since it's multiple web elements, it does not consider to be a good locator. Please try to find a unique locator. Let's go to the same locator and let's see if we can use name, if that's gonna be unique. Double click on the value and let me paste this value. It's also unique and it's highlighting the same locator. The class name doesn't seem too good for this locator because it has spaces and multiple keywords. Let's search for some different class name for different locator which has class name. Let's inspect this bestsellers. Bestsellers has some class name. It has a text. It also has a tag. It means it's a link. That's how you can find the link. So here, let's check class name locator. We have 1 out of 2. So this is the first one and this is the second one. So you have 2. This is not good locator, but at least you know how you can use a class name locator. Let's try this link, partial link and LinkText locator. Let's use this link exactly how it says there. Right now I'm using partial link, and as you can see I have 1 out of 1. This is one of the locator you can use, and let's say what's gonna happen if I use the whole link. For the whole link I have 1 out of 2. This is not unique locator, then you can still stay with 1 out of 1, which is partial link. We can use tag, and actually a tag, it's one of the another interview questions you can be asked for Selenium. The question will be sound: how do you find all links on the web page. In order to find all links on the web page, as we know, all links will have anchor tag, which stands for letter E. We can find all links by using a tag, and as you can see, we have so many locators which has a tag, but that's how you can find all links of your page. Let's create XPath for this t-shirts link. It has a text, and I want to use this text, and I want to create XPath with a text. So for the XPath, we start with double slash, and we use anchor tag, and after square brackets. Inside the square brackets, I'm gonna use contains method. Since it's method, we need to use open and close bracket, and inside this bracket, we need to specify. If it contains text, we wanna use text, we're gonna use text also method, put comma, and after inside the single quotes, we're gonna put that text. But this is find 1 out of 5 web elements for us, so it's not unique. And let's go back to our search box, and let's write XPath for the search box by using XPath with ID value. It has input tag, and we wanted to use ID as an attribute and value of that ID. So we're gonna put input, open close square brackets. Always open and close brackets if you use them, so you don't miss the closing brackets, because this is a common problem for people who learn how to create locators or how to write scripts. Like in some programming language, the brackets issue, it's becoming problem in the beginning, so always open and close your brackets when you write any code or searching for locators. And we're gonna use ID attribute, and after we need to say equals, and we're gonna paste that value. That's we have 1 out of 1 unique XPath. Also, we can replace that XPath instead of ID. We can use name attribute, which has the search query value, also give us unique XPath for this locator. And it's unique locator because it's 1 out of 1. Now, let's see how we can convert this XPath into CSS selector. CSS selector does not use slashes, but we still need to write TagName. It does not use annotations. This is your CSS locator. It's similar to XPath. We just don't use double slashes before tags. We don't use annotation before attributes. But there are also some differences and some shortcuts for CSS selector compared to XPath. But CSS selector does not have all possibilities what XPath can do. It's cannot to switch from child up to parent, which XPath can do. It's cannot to find ends child locator. And how to switch to parent, let me show you. This is our XPath. The parent of this element is this element form, because as you can see, this is located inside of this form tag. If I close it and I open it, you see that this input, which is search box located under that form. How we can switch to parent? We just use single slash, and we can use 2 dots. Then it will navigate us to the parent web element. You can also use following sibling option by searching locators. Following sibling means the same level web element in HTML DOM under you. For example, let's say I want to find this web element by using this element. This element has order by name. I'm gonna use this value, and it's gonna be XPath because you're gonna use multiple values. For this XPath, I will use input, which has add name equals this order by value. This is our first element, but we wanted to find this web element. Let's say that this web element does not have any unique locator, but we know if we switch from this to this, then it will unique because there are no other web element right behind that one. So in order for us to find the following sibling, which gonna be this or this web element, because they're under the elements we are found right now, we can use single slash, and we're gonna type following sibling. We're gonna put 2 columns, and then we're gonna start with input tag. It's gonna give us two web elements because we have two following sublinks under our web element we found, and then we need to specify which exactly we want. And this web element behind it has order way, or we can use value descending. Let's write locator with value attribute equals descending, and then it's gonna give us unique locator for this specific web element. And why I was mentioned before that you need to use the single quote when you're working with the XPath or with CSS selector, because when you're gonna copy paste this web element into your automation framework, it's often will have something like that, because that's how it's translated to your framework. That's why it's good practice to use single quotes to avoid any additional characters to be added to this locator, and you need to manually fix it. And please learn how to create locators, how to type them, understand all these locators I show to you. And this is only 8 locators, and usually you use like ID or XPath if you have dynamic web element. Please never ever on your interview or at your work use these options such as right click and copy XPath, because this is the worst locator you can find. Because you can see it's use star, which means find me any tags which has ID search box, and it's use nth child. Remember I was mentioning about nth child? That's mean if you remove this number 3, you're gonna find 4 elements with this XPath, and only until you specify that you need the third child of this web element, then it's gonna give you unique. So this is very bad XPath, and this option will never give you a good XPath. And for the end of this video, I wanted to say that it's very valuable to know how to write the correct locators, how to be able to write the unique locator, so you will find the only one locator for every specific web elements you need to interact with on the web page. And it's very popular interview question: what locators do you know in Selenium? And if you're gonna be asked this question, some companies may ask you to share screen, navigate to any website, for example Google search, and inspect and write the XPath for any of the elements of this web page. Learn how to write the locators, how to create XPath, how to inspect this HTML DOM and find the right correct locators, because it will be very helpful for you, and it will solve you a lot of headache when you deal with automation and looking for locators. Otherwise you may see no such element exceptions when you execute your automation scripts, and this will help you also on the interviews if you are trying to get position as an automation tester. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions, and if you want me to create another video how to write different XPath or CSS selector, because they have multiple options how you can use them. I showed few options today, but there are more. If you want me to create this video, please leave the comments below. And if you think this video can help someone to learn, please share this video and let them know about this channel. I will really appreciate that. Thank you for watching until the end, and hope to see you in my next video.